Tuesday, the 23rd of May, we race at Turffontein on the inside track. First of 8 races due off at 12:40. The first race, the first leg of the bipot, is a juvenile plate for fillies over 1,450 metres. And as always, we're joined on the line by Alistair Cohen. And as always, we're recording the show a day prior to the race meeting. Alistair, how are you doing?
Morning, Graham. Yep, all good. We had the ROA Halfveld Awards on Saturday at Marble Arch, which, as someone who's not a lover of awards, I thought was actually very, very well done. So well done to all the winners. I thoroughly enjoyed what I saw at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Saturday as well for the second leg of the World Sports Betting Winter Series, the Legal Eagle Stakes, won by It's Raining William. I wonder if that adds to the debate of Rockpool just running in behind and where he fits into the whole scheme of things, because that was an encouraging run, but has he done too little too late? We shall see. But yeah, it's obviously a lead up to another huge weekend. Can't wait for the Daily News 2000, one of my favorite race meetings of the year. And that, of course, is Saturday. So we've got to plow away until we get there, and hopefully with a bit of a profit leading up to Saturday.
Well, let's kick off with the first race, which, as I mentioned, is a juvenile plate for fillies over 1,450 metres. First leg of the bipot goes at 12:40. The early betting has number 6, So Seductive, top of the boards off the back of a very good third in the fillies nursery. Number 8, White Pearl, ran very well on debut, beaten a half a length or so, and she's at 2-1. 1, Queen of Camelot, is already a winner, one of 2 winners in the race at 33-10, and number 7, Spring in Heaven, at 8-1. Those are the 4 runners quoted in single figures, but at the top of the boards, it looks like a 3-cornered contest. I noticed that you're taking no chances in the opening leg of the bipot. You've included all of numbers 1, 6, and 8. Who would your top choice be?
The reason why I've gone with 3 horses because I want to double up here, Graham, because I can't see there's a good chance that if you go 2, you're going to drop one of them in the bipot. So I don't want to take any chances from that perspective. 1, 6, and 8 are my numbers. I'm leaning towards number 8, White Pearl. I had a chat to Mike de Kock before she made her debut behind Prince of Green, and he said she has got a great turn of foot. The draw is obviously no good for her, and she showed that turn of foot by absolutely taking off late to finish half a length behind Prince of Green. She was launching at the same time as a horse, Mocha Frappe, who I think is going to win soon, and just in behind was a horse called My Soulmate, who stayed on very strongly in her second start to finish 3rd just a week ago. So even though it's not coming up totally winners out of that form line, I think there's enough substance to it to suggest that is a pretty useful piece of form. So number 8, White Pearl, my top choice. 6, So Seductive, out of a feature race last time behind Mrs. Geriatrics, where she stayed on strongly. She was best of the rest, first and second. We're quite well clear of her on that occasion. So Seductive, coming back to these calmer waters, has to be in the play. And then Queen of Camelot beat Calamaretta. Calamaretta won at the Val about a week ago, so can't leave out number 1, Queen of Camelot. I actually like what she showed last time, Queen of Camelot. She was drawn on what is probably the wrong side of the course, but she wrestled home late to beat Calamaretta in good style. I think there's something about her, but she's got to give weight away. It won't be easy, but she's definitely got something about her.
Race 2 on the card is the first leg of the place accumulator. It's a juvenile plate over 1,450 metres. This race appears more, probably a little deeper, many more with chances than perhaps was the case in the opening event. And they're betting 7-2 the field. Number 4, Dr. Faustus, at 7-2. Number 7, Hotter Ruby, off the back of a very promising debut, at 7-2. Number 2, Chilly Moon, is at 4-1. And then we have number 6, French Impact, at 7-1. Number 1, Fire in Flames, 8-1. Number 3, Zoom Bomber, at 8-1. So a couple of winners in this race, the second leg of the bipot and the first leg of the place accumulator. You've gone with numbers 2, Chilly Moon, 4, Dr. Faustus, and 7, Hotter Ruby as your 3 selections in the second leg of the bipot, which is your chosen bet for this meeting. Talk us through the second race.
And I'm nervous I've left out number 6, French Impact, for what it's worth. I think that he can also make his presence felt. But I'm hoping that my 3 numbers do enough in the bipot. My top choice here is number 4, Dr. Faustus. I know he travelled down to Hollywoodbets Greyville on Guinea's Day and got undone by Winter Games from the Mike Miller stable. But I think Dr. Faustus is going to get better and improve as life goes on. I don't think he's all that bad. He's related to that horse, Dr. Doolittle, who was a better 3-year-old than he was 2-year-old. So I'm hoping Dr. Faustus follows that same type of blueprint. I know he's got a bit of an awkward draw, but I think he'll definitely go this trip out of a mare who's got horses that have gone 2,000 metres without any first fuss whatsoever. I called his debut. He's horribly outpaced. He stayed on nicely behind Heirloom. So I think this is what he's looking for. Don't know if he's just about popping to win. I don't know if I'd be getting stuck into the price about Dr. Faustus, but I think he'll give you a bold showing. 2 Chilli Moon perhaps got away with one when beating Captain Warra by a short head 2 weeks back. But the point is he ran as if this trip would be tailor-made for him. So the extra furlong and 50 metres I think is going to serve number 2 Chilli Moon well. I think we'll get a good idea of whether he's above average or not in this particular race. And then number 7, Hotter Ruby, I actually spoke to Sean Terry after the race and asked him if he was surprised. There was no support for the son of Verts and Gesrix, and he was pleasantly surprised because he was of the opinion that the horse needed to get stars and get going, but the bigger picture was quite bright for number 7, Hotter Ruby. So he sprung up on him when staying on short head behind Bomb Bomb. Bomb Bomb's no mug, and with a light weight, number 7, Hotter Ruby might have found the right opening here. So very, very tricky first leg of the place accumulator, second leg of the bar pot. As you mentioned, lots and with chances. And if you want one more, number 6, French Impact definitely fits the bill.
So there we go. That's the second leg of the bipot and the first leg of the place accumulator. Moving on to race 3, which is the first leg of the pick 6 on this 8-race card. A maiden plate for fillies and mares over the minimum trip of 1,000 metres. And we have a first-timer at the top of the boards in the early betting exchanges, a 2-year-old daughter of Kirari, number 7. I'm not actually going to try and pronounce it. I'm going to let Alistair give me the lead as to the pronunciation of number 7, so we'll hear from him in a moment. From the J.J. Van Vuren stable, Keegan de Mello takes the ride for the Main Chance Farms, 22-10, the early price. Number 1, Zoom Lady at 5-2. Number 3, Glitter Fox, runner-up in her last 2 starts, is at 5-2. And another first-timer, number 9, Nera, is at 8-1. Now, what is interesting for me when I look at Alistair's 2 selections for this leg of the bipot, he's gone with number 3, Glitter Fox, runner-up in the last 2. But of the first-timers, he's chosen to go with number 9, Nera, who's at 8-1, whereas the other first-timer is at 22-10. Your thoughts on the first leg of the pick 6?
Graham, this horse of Johan Janssen van Vuren's, whose name I won't pronounce because I'm not calling on the day, so I'll let whoever's calling have the troubles of looking that up. But she was carded to run about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and even though Johan's not made a comment on the front of this computer form, he made a comment in the front of that computer form, and his comment was, needs much further. So that has stuck in the back of my mind. I'm a little bit dubious. I know she's by Quirari, so you might get a bit of a speed angle. Obviously, out of the Galileo mare, you'd expect there to be a bit of stamina on that side of things. Keegan de Mello's booking is obviously crucial. It's not a strong race by any stretch of the imagination. So if she's any good, she wouldn't have to be too special to win a race of this nature. But I remember Johan's comments a few weeks ago about this filly, and they certainly didn't scream, this is winning 1,000 metres. I think the Ashley Fortune first-timer, who's related to a very, very nice horse, also won that expensive race on Met Day for Mario Ferreira and Ashley Fortune, whose name sadly escapes me right now. Nera, I think, fits the bill a little bit easier, being by Verts and Gesrix out of a well-performed parade leader mare from Winterbach stud. So I think number 9, Nera, could be the right first-timer. Of the race runners, to suggest that a 25-start maiden in the form of Glitter Fox is the right one, I think that she is the right one, but that just shows the depth of the race. It is not strong at all. It's set up for a first-timer. And of the 3 first-timers, number 9, Nera, is the one that makes the most appeal to me, despite the support on number 7.
Obviously, from the pick 6 perspective, being the first leg, we can ignore numbers 7 and 9 as the first-timer rule comes into play. So from a pick 6 perspective, just looking at the 2 race runners that are quoted short in the market, number 1, Zoom Lady, and number 3, Glitter Fox. Clearly, you have a preference for number 3, Glitter Fox. But would you put just those 2 horses into the opening leg of the pick 6?
No, I'd also include number 2, Someday Maybe, Graham. I wouldn't want to fall short here. It is a trappy card overall. I think you've got to extend a little bit to catch the exotics on this card, but I wouldn't want to be going out the first leg because number 2, Someday Maybe, does have as much appeal as number 1, Zoom Lady, and 3, Glitter Fox. I don't think either of them are going to Hollywood, but I think they have got a win in them while the grass is brown in Joburg.
Race 4 in the card is the first leg of Jackpot 1. It's a maiden plate over 1,000 metres, and the fourth race off at 14.25. And at this stage, we have all 8 runners going, and the favourite is number 8, Wait for Greenlight at 2-1. 5, Joker Man at 22-10. They ran second and third, respectively, in the same race last time. Number 7, KwaZulu-Natal at 7-2. Number 3, Southern Style at 11-2. They're betting tens and better the balance. Certainly on the evidence of their last run, number 8, Wait for Greenlight, has the measure of number 5, Joker Man. You're taking no chances in the bipod and including both of these 2 runners.
Because I think it was like KwaZulu-Natal's also got a bit of a chance here, Graham. I don't think it's an open and shut case of these 2 running first and second. Iron Sky took a very long time to win a maiden, which is a bit of a worry. And yes, he just touched off number 8, Wait for Greenlight, on that occasion. I remember I worked to the VAR when Wait for Greenlight made her debut behind War Empress, and there was a bit of talk for the daughter of Give Me the Greenlight, but she looked awfully soft. She didn't look like she was ready to go at all. And she ran accordingly and then stepped up in her second start. But I don't really know how to read her chances, whether she got close to Iron Sky because Iron Sky just didn't know how to win, or because she's just coming along the right way, number 8, Wait for Greenlight. So I'm a bit dubious about her. I think number 5, Joker Man, will improve and close that 3-length deficit between the 2. Whether it'll be enough to turn the tables, I'm not convinced, but I do think Joker Man will go a lot closer. And then, like I said, number 7, KwaZulu-Natal, he's got form to feature race performers on the half up this season. So even though I think he might have had a bit of a setback, he was scratched a couple of weeks ago, number 7, KwaZulu-Natal, just reading between the lines, maybe not quite 100%, but I think that he might just get into the top 3 here, number 7, KwaZulu-Natal. So that's why I've gone on with both horses, because I'm just a bit sceptical about the form.
Okay, so that's race 4 then. The first leg of Jackpot 1, 5 and 8 in the bipod for Alistair. 8, Wait for Greenlight, possibly the top choice ahead of number 5, Joker Man, but Joker Man expected to get a lot closer this time round. Race 5 is the first leg of Jackpot 2, MR75 handicap over 1,000 metres. 10 carded, and it looks pretty competitive. They're betting 4-1 the field in the early exchanges. Number 1, Letitia's Angel, is at 4-1. Number 5, War Empress at 4-1. Number 3, Civil Princess, who's been oh so disappointing since her sparkling debut, is at 9-2. Number 6, Pendragon, is at 9-2. And number 2, Successful Secret, is at 6-1. Now, you're taking no chances here in the bipod, Alistair. I've had a sneak preview, obviously, of your selections. You've included 4 runners, all of numbers 1, Letitia's Angel, number 6, Pendragon, number 7, Clean Living, and number 9, Smelting. Talk us through race 5.
A very, very tricky race. My top choice here is number 6, Pendragon, coming back to the inside track. I've always followed him. I've been a supporter of his on the inside course. His overall record is 6 starts for 2 wins, 2 seconds, and a 4th, which is solid enough at this type of level. There is a turn of form on the 18th of April between Letitia's Angel and Pendragon. Letitia's Angel still got his measure, but I have a theory about Letitia's Angel in that it took Ryan Munger a very, very long time to work this daughter of Patala Palace out. I don't think she's the most straightforward, and I think that Raymond Danielson, as good as he is, I think that he might need another ride or 2 just to figure out Letitia's Angel, because I think she needs absolutely everything her own way. I think she's got got a bit of a soft mouth, and you've got to sort of nurse her along in the early stages. So I think it's almost a look and learn so much, if I can put it that way, for a jockey on number 1, Letitia's Angel. So I think Pendragon might just turn the tables on that. But with that said, Letitia's Angel still got his measure quite comfortably at the weight. So I've got to give her the benefit of the doubt, and that she's still going to run well, despite the fact that I think that she might just sort of be getting into the 3rd or 4th here. 7, Clean Living, came back to form last 2 starts when change of tactics yielded her just running out of puff in the closing stages. She's probably not too far away. And then number 9, Smelting, another one who took a very, very long time to win, but I think she's a little bit more effective around the bend at Turffontein than she is down the straight at Turffontein. So off a very light weight, despite a bad draw, number 9 Smelting could also be quite dangerous here. I just think that she could be well set up after taking such a long time to win a maiden at low-grade handicap level with a light weight. Maybe that's just what she's been looking for throughout her career.
So there we go. That's race 5 and Alistair's view on race 5. A tricky contest, a tricky low-grade handicap. As we go to race 6, which is a middle stakes over 1,200 metres, the first leg of the final pick 3, off at 15.35. It is the final leg of the bipod, so I'll share with you Alistair's selections for the last leg of the bipod before we get him to comment on them. Number 2, Mooning Shine Through. Number 8, The Mauritian. And number 10, Cosmic Star. 2, 8, and 10. Ignoring the current early favourite, number 6, Orzen Kerr, who's won its last 3 starts for the Paul Peters stable. That's top of the boards at 7-2. Number 10, Cosmic Star, 15-4. Number 8, The Mauritian, who appears on the front cover of the computer form, is at 11-2. Number 2, Moonshining Through at 15-2. They're betting 10-1. Well, 9, Thunderstone at 7-1. 10s and better the balance. 6, Orzen Kerr is the favourite. Doesn't feature in your selections, Alistair.
He fell across the line last time, Graham. I'm a bit worried about him. I know it's not a true handicap, but it's close enough at this middle stakes level. And I think for 95, he's got a little bit to do. Although we've seen Tony Peter and his father take horses to levels that we would never have expected. So, from that point of view, I suppose Orzen Kerr deserves a mention, deserves respect, but I think he's taking on far, far stronger this time around. For example, Windwater, the horse he beat last time, ran on Thursday at Turffontein and ran an almighty stinker. Although I don't think everything was all kosher with how he pulled up, still, looking at that in black and white, that is a big worry for number 6, Orzen Kerr. So my selections here, number 2, Moon Shining Through, despite her being a very, very delicate filly, she's got a lot of ability. She's taken on some of the best sprinters at her last 2 starts. She didn't rip up any trees, but I do think that she's at the right type of place to look like she's coming back to form. Then there's number 8, the Mauritian, who won with ease last time, coming back to form and giving away to a whole lot of hardened sprinters. So that was encouraging for number 8, the Mauritian. And then number 10, Cosmic Star, a horse that I don't want to be controversial here. A horse I didn't think too much of until his last start, but after watching him win last time, he's got points in the bag from the handicapper. He won with such ease. It's been a long time since I've seen a horse hit the front on the Vaal Classic track at the 600 and get stronger as the race went on. He absolutely loved it around there last time out. So in that type of heart, he's hard to ignore. For pick 6 and jackpot players, number 9, Thunderstone, a definite inclusion. He absolutely took off last time out when catching the eye, finishing 4th behind Smith and Wesson on the back of a 5-month break. I hope this run's not coming a bit too soon, but my eyes told me that number 9 Thunderstone would be set up for a win very soon. I've left him out the bar pot, but he would definitely go into my jackpot in pick 6.
So there we go. That's a summary of race 6, the middle stakes over 1,200 metres. As we go to the penultimate race, which is the Fillies and Mares 86 handicap over 1,600 metres, due off at 4:05. And again, it's certainly a small field, but a very competitive field. Top of the board's number 3, Avo on Toast at 7-2. We have numbers 5, Strange Magic, and Alistair will know something about Strange Magic, that we know for certain. That's at 9-2. Number 7, National Star, is at 9-2. Number 2, Escape Artist, is at 11-2. That's the selection of Rod Beckus. 1, Rarotonga Rose at 13-2. Number 4, Simple is at 6-1. Number 8, Cape Lights, 15-2. The only runner that actually doesn't feature in the betting is number 6, Intoxicating. Let's start with Strange Magic, Alistair.
Her work's been very good at home, Graham. She might be a run short from her best, but expect her to get into the money. Be very disappointed if she's not in the top 4. And she's got a very good chance of running into the place accumulator. She loves the inside track, which is also a big benefit. And she should go very well. I think she's got a bit to do to beat number 4, Simple, though. From the worst of the draws last time in the Syringa handicap, she ran nicely behind Tipsy Tarragon. It looked like she was running on, but I think that's because Tipsy Tarragon had worked so hard up front and she was tying up over the final few strides. And perhaps don't read into the fact that she made up 4 lengths over the final 400 meters. I think they all were. But with that said, I still think number 4, Simple had something in hand last time out. And what we saw on Thursday, even though I don't think this meeting will be affected by the rains that we had about a week ago, but a lot of horses missed their sort of last workout leading into last Thursday's race meeting. And I think the fitness edge might just be on the side of a few horses here. So that gives me a little bit more confidence about number 4, Simple to run a huge race. Craig Zaki now takes a ride for Mike de Kock. I know that Mike thinks that she's better than her overall record. So I think number 4, Simple, the horse they all need to beat. Respect for a few here. I think number 3, Avo One Toast is progressive. 7, National Star stayed on very nicely last time. She'll need to confirm that, but I think that she's allowed to run into the money. And then obviously number 5, Strange Magic, who I think will be in the first 4. That's probably me being a little bit conservative. Maybe she's a little bit better than that, but she's working very nicely. So I can't put anyone off if you are going to include her in your bets.
The 8th and final race is the Fillies and Mares 76 handicap over 1,600 metres, due off at 16:35. And we have 13 runners carded. No changes at this early stage. But again, a reminder that we record the show the morning before the race meeting. So check your media and websites for all the latest changes as we approach race time on Tuesday. Wide open contest, this one. Number 6, Luna Ballard is at 9-2. Number 2, Lady Calavera, 13-2. 3, Radu and 4, Say Yes, are both at 7-1. 8, Dancing Arabian, 13-2. Number 10, Silver Clock, 9-1. Number 12, Queen Bomey, 7-1. So as far as the betting is concerned, as an indicator, very tough to nail your colours to the mast here, but perhaps Alistair has got something up his sleeve.
I've got 2 horses here that are coming off a layoff, Graham, that I think are alive in a very, very tricky race. The least surprising one is number 8, Dancing Arabian. I think I've been following her for a while. I liked her last start when she ran half a length behind Escape Artist. If Escape Artist runs nicely a race earlier, that will give a little bit more confidence about those with number 8, Dancing Arabian. I think that she's always going to be a victim of this type of racing in the low 70s and high 60s. So even though I think she might be better on a more galloping track, she's won once on the inside track, but from 9 starts and done nothing else there. I think she's still better on a galloping track, but at this type of level, I've got to expect her to be a lovely chance. And then the other one is number 9, Turn the Page. I think that she is horribly overpriced, despite her terrible draw here. Brett Crawford's yard on the half vault have had their last 4 runners have been winners. That's an insane stat. And we've seen time and time again, first run from Cape Town, you can blow them out the water with that first start up from the Cape. I don't think her Cape form is all that bad. 2.5 lengths to Body Electric, nothing wrong with that. And even when she has a few horses in front of her, she's not disgraced. She arrives in Joburg with a rating of 72, this daughter of Trippy. I think that she's going to run a lot better than the betting suggests, despite her bad draw. It seems like she's got a little bit of speed and over a mile. I hope that she doesn't do too much too early. But I think that she could get a blow in a very open race. I think the most reliable suggestion in this race is probably number 4, Say Yes. But when I say reliable, I thought that her local debut was okay. The fact that she hasn't been around for 86 days, maybe not pulled up all that well, maybe there's been a bit of a setback in between, but she gave the impression that she could reel off a few in the half out this winter on that local debut. So, yeah, I can talk about this race for a long, long time, Graham, and probably not give too many more clues. But all in all, I think number 9, Turn the Page, is the value in the race, and number 8, Dancing Arabian, I expect us to run another solid race.
Alistair, as always, thank you very much. I'm going to say cheerio to you now. We'll bring your bipod on screen to recap your suggested bet for this race meeting on the inside track at Turffontein Tuesday, the 23rd of May. I'll take our viewers through it. So once again, Alistair, thanks very much. Have a wonderful day.
Cheers, Graham. Thank you so much. We'll chat soon.
Okay, so we say goodbye to Alistair Cohen, but we'll bring up his bipod for you just to recap the selections that we went through race by race. In the opening leg, which is race 1, he's gone with all 3 of the fancied runners. Numbers 1, Queen of Camelot, 6, So Seductive, and 8, White Pearl. In the second leg, numbers 2, 4, and 7, that's Chilly Moon, Dr. Faustus, and Hotter Ruby. In the third leg, numbers 3 and 9, that's Glitter Fox, and the first-timer Nera. The other first-timer, number 7, is in fact the early favourite for the race. Then in the fourth race, the 2 obvious ones, number 5, Joker Man, and 8, Wait for Green Light. The penultimate leg of the bipod, race 5 in the card, Tricky Handicap, is included all of numbers 1, Letitia's Angel, number 6, Pendragon, number 7, Clean Living, and number 9, Smelting. And it doesn't get much easier in the last leg, where he's included numbers 2, Moonshining Through, number 8, The Mauritian, and number 10, Cosmic Star. Well, that's a wrap for this race meeting, Turffontein, Tuesday, the 23rd of May. Our thanks again to Alistair Cohen, and we wish you happy hunting at Turffontein.